raw material used to make ropes, nets, coarse fabrics, and coir. In this video, you will watch how millions of coconuts are produced and harvested. How are different products made from coconut, and what are some of the products made out of its husk that you might never have seen before? What are the challenges to the coconut industry? And how does this auspicious fruit change the lives of many? Let's find out. But before that, make sure to subscribe to this channel for such informative content. In recent years, coconut demand in the West has increased significantly. Imports of coconut in the US alone have spiked nearly 30% since 2018. Companies are selling it as a superfood and launching new coconut products to target the masses. But these countries in the tropics are already selling most of their coconut. To meet the rising demand, they have to grow more coconut trees. Coconut production is not easy as well. A coconut tree typically takes 3 to 6 years to start flowering. Furthermore, a coconut takes 9 months to develop and drop off the tree. Moreover, a mature coconut tree can produce 30 or more coconuts per year in ideal conditions. With correct planting, watering, and care, a coconut tree can reach full maturity and maximum yield in 15 years. There are mainly 2 types of coconut plants, dwarf and tall coconuts. A dwarf coconut, however, can be as tall as a tall coconut. The terms dwarf and tall refer to the size at which it will begin to produce the coveted or harvestable coconut. Preparing a new seed from both dwarf and tall coconuts is known as hybridization. Nowadays, many planters rely on this method to enhance the yield and speed up the growth of coconuts. It involves taking flowers from the male plant and transferring them to the female plant buttons when they are receptive. Interestingly, a coconut tree has both male flowers and female buttons on the same inflorescence. Male flowers are removed to prepare the tree for reproduction. This process is known as emasculation. The workers also engrave the date of emasculation on the tree for record. For the next 3 weeks, an expert will regularly check this plant. At this time, a little drop of nectar will appear on the female buttons. This indicates the female buttons are now mature enough to pollinate. Companies like DJ process the pollen from special tall trees and supply it to the farmers. To pollinate the ready female buttons, farmers gently apply pollen with a brush. After 120 days, they will check how many buttons are left. Typically, 20% of these are left on a coconut tree, out of which 90% of the yield grows into fresh coconuts. These newly grown coconuts are not for eating. Instead, the nurseryman will keep them in nurseries as seed nuts. The nurseryman shakes the coconut to find out whether it has the right amount of water or not. At the right stage, this seed nut goes for planting in the nursery beds. Germination often starts after a month, but it takes 6 months for a baby plant to grow up to 2.5 feet tall. Now, coconut plants are ready to be sold to customers. These hybrids from DJ Sampoorna will start in only 4 years, which will save 3 years of time compared to typical coconut plants. Here, fresh coconuts are ready to be harvested. Harvesting them requires meticulous scheduling to achieve ideal maturity. It maintains desirable taste and nutritional attributes. However, obtaining coconuts from a tall tree is a challenge in itself. These days, we have robots and machines to pluck fruits from trees. Still, coconut growers rely on conventional methods. One straightforward method to harvest coconut is climbing. It is an easy way, but it is also a risky job. These climbers climb over trees without any safety tools. Falling from a 100-foot tall tree would cause severe damage. Sometimes they tie husk rope to the tree trunk, and sometimes they make small cuts to climb over. Foot spikes are also used to climb over. Climbers make sure they pluck the ripened fruit from the tree. One of the easiest methods of harvesting coconut is the pole method. A long bamboo stick is used to make coconuts fall, but this requires expertise and precautions. A direct hit of the coconut on the head can be deadly. According to research conducted by the Australian Institute of Marine Science, around 150 people lose their lives each year due to coconuts falling. A hydraulic elevator is one of the better ways of harvesting coconuts. Like pole methods, workers use sticks with nails on their ends to collect coconuts. They poke each coconut and throw it in their back baskets. Apparently, this truck is ready to transport a coconut plant for further processing. Since most coconut trees grow in subtropical coastal regions, the water channels play an important role in the growth and transportation of coconuts. This water canal has been made specifically for watering coconuts. They use a special boat with pumps that throw pumps onto the coconut trees. Also, the ready coconuts are deliberately fallen into the water to prevent them from bumping. Likewise, large boats are used on water channels to transport the harvest in bulk. But these boats are away from the field. Therefore, trucks take the harvest to these boats. Workers also check the quality of the coconuts before loading the truck. Being the largest coconut producer, Indonesia transports millions of coconuts through these waterways. The coconuts that do not meet the standard will be used as fertilizer. Some factories have a special port facility to receive these coconuts directly from the laden boats. Sambu Group is one of them. The company has installed special equipment to unload the loaded boats. But this is not the case everywhere. This viral video from a port depicts a worrying situation in Bangladesh. Through a chain of running conveyor belts, the fruit goes into the facility. Then, a team of workers removes the outer part of the coconut, which contains hair-like fabric. This part is known as the husk of the coconut, and that's why the process of its removal is called dehusking. Older methods of removing husks are still employed in some countries. These methods are prevalent in traditional localities in Southeast Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean. They use machetes to remove the fibrous husk from coconuts. Because coconut production has exceeded 62 million metric tons per year globally,